Radio Vision Network, giving you real estate education on a weekly basis and helping you understand the real estate industry today. And today we have a real estate agent in the area from the Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Berkshire Hathaway office, Sarah Pearson. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We'll get into a lot of details of the business because obviously the spring market is here, and we're going to get into that. But I want to kind of talk about a little about yourself and kind of understand the audience understand who you are and how you can a little about your background, and tying in more character. In today's market, it's more about understanding being comfortable working with somebody.
Absolutely.
So, how long have you been with Berkshire Hathaway, or just as a real estate agent in general?
Well, I actually signed on when Berkshire Hathaway Fox and Roach was Prudential Fox and Roach.
Okay.
And that was about 7 years ago. My husband and I bought and sold a couple houses, and through that process, my personality, I ask a lot of questions because I want to educate myself. So when we were buying and selling these homes, I educated myself and realized that the agents that we were working with, just some things just didn't seem right. So I wanted to make sure that everyone was doing their job the way they were supposed to in the real estate world. So I thought, ooh, what a better way to get into the real estate world than become an agent myself. So I had a few children along the way, and after I had my third son, I decided to go to real estate school. I did there's a couple options when you go to try and get your real estate license in the state of New Jersey. One, you could do a crash course, which is 2 weeks long, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, or you could stretch it out over 10 weeks, and it's a couple nights a week for a few hours. Because I did have children, I chose the latter of the two. I did a couple nights a week over 10 weeks, and then I took the real estate exam, and I got my real estate license.
Couldn't you just tape them on the wall and then take the class for 2 weeks and get it done? You
No.
Just, like a Velcro wall or something like that with a Velcro suit or something?
No.
No?
The state of New Jersey has a very, very rigid, tough, way to get your license, and I feel like that helps. It enables the agents in New Jersey to be more
Take it serious.
educated.
Take it
Absolutely, very take.
Well, I've had my real estate licenses since 1987, New
Okay.
Jersey and Pennsylvania. And I got my licenses really when I was 18 to educate myself, just to understand terminology and things of that nature. And funny enough, I became a loan officer because I kept asking so many questions,
Okay.
relevant, and it ended up that I was getting so frustrated with the loan officers doing my loans.
Right.
I said, well, I could do this, and I became a loan officer. So
Right.
it kind of very relevant. You were buying property, so you have an investor mindset. So did you grow up in the area of Cherry Hill?
I did. I grew up in Cherry Hill. I'm a Cherry Hill West graduate.
Okay, and you live here in Cherry Hill.
I live in Cherry Hill. Yes.
So your focus really, your wheelhouse would be Camden County, Burlington
Correct.
County. Maybe sometimes one of your clients might want to go down Atlantic County. So you cover.
I cover a wide range. I've had properties and clients looking in all of those areas: Gloucester County, Camden County, Burlington County. Haven't really touched Atlantic County or anything.
It's a unique market, but I mean your
It is.
wheelhouse is really that South Jersey hub,
Yes.
neighboring Philadelphia, or the
Yes.
Philadelphia market, really.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, when my husband and I were looking for our own home, we were looking in the Burlington and Camden County area. So I got to know a lot of the neighborhoods, because when you're looking for yourself, I love looking at houses. I mean, who doesn't like to look at houses and go on house tours and things like that?
Absolutely.
So I feel like while I can work both as a seller's agent and as buyer's agent, I find more joy in going with the buyer and looking at the house, because a lot of agents lean towards one or the other. I would think maybe more of a seller's agent or a buyer's agent.
Is that more because of the fact is that you were an investor? So
Right.
looking at, I mean, you're looking almost at every property as an investment, whether it's their first home,
Right.
secondary home, or the 20th home.
Right.
So your mindset is always looking at the cost benefit and negotiating the best deal where they make money at closing.
Right. Well, and I feel like as a buyer's agent, you have a client that gets pre-approved, and they're gonna buy a house. So there's really an end result. So your sale is, 90% almost gonna happen. Whereas when you're representing a seller, you could list a house for 3 to 6 months, and then it couldn't sell, and then they could go list with another agent, and then you're not really guaranteed that commission at the end of the tunnel.
And thinking of the amount of years that you've been in the business, and then prior to doing some flipping or holding or cash flowing properties, I'm not really sure, but we could talk about that. You came in at almost the worst time of the market.
I sure did.
You couldn't come in any worse.
Did.
I mean, '08 was it.
People thought I was out of my mind. They're like, "Why are you getting into real estate? It was right at the peak, and then it just
Boom.
crashed." And I'm like, "What better time to get in it? I'm not spoiled by the inflated market, and I'm not, making hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s a year, and where I have to adjust to an income because the market crashed.
Yep.
I'm starting from nothing and hoping at the market. So I feel like I came in at a great time."
Well, do you think some of the things that you do other than real estate has segued or assisted you in creating business? You have 3 children, right?
Yes.
So I mean, that's all the moms and dads and families and their
Yes.
friends and family. And then, is there some other organizations that you tie or segue some of your real estate business in?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I do theater.
Theater?
So a lot of my theater friends, my young theater friends who are, getting jobs and then want to buy their first home, I've sold to several of my theater friends.
So that's a great segue.
Yes.
Just being a volunteer. Aren't you a volunteer for an organization? There was one organization that we chatted briefly, or you just work with the theater. How did you meet Keith, the producer? There was that.
Well, I came on Morning Coffee. I just opened
Mhm.
a performing arts center.
That's
So
and the people that really come to that
right,
type of environment,
right,
the people that attend are really the buyers.
right.
I mean,
correct.
as well as maybe some of the people that are within the arts center, but
Yes.
people that come to an arts event
Right.
typically are accredited and can go after
Yes.
a nice opportunity in your area or want to sell their property or
Right.
things of that nature. So you've balanced out your network to
Right.
facilitate a successful real estate business.
Yes. So when I got my real estate license, thankfully my husband, I was a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
So we got adjusted to one income. So this real estate investment, getting my real estate license, was kind of an added bonus, I
Pays
guess
for the
you
nice
could say.
vacation, savings,
Correct.
hopefully the college funds
The
and things
college
like that.
funds, right. So we adjusted on one income. So the real estate, I didn't jump into it 100% because I had small children, and it's a lot of time. It's not a 9 to 5 job.
No.
I could be emailing someone at midnight. You just have to fit certain things in the middle of taking care of kids and stuff like that. So I kind of did it on a part-time. I didn't really blast myself out
Mhm.
market-wise, like with mailers
You
and
did a slow
soliciting
drip.
myself. It was, yes. So it was kind of word of mouth, and a friend, a family member, and then that friend told another friend. So as the years have gone on, I've built up a clientele of people that trust me, because obviously if you are doing it for the commission, I mean, a lot of people do this as a full-time job and have to live and survive. So it becomes a little more cutthroat because they have to make money to live. Whereas I didn't luckily I didn't have to, and I could do it more, not necessarily for fun, but I feel like I was very genuine in the fact that I did it because I enjoyed it. This is why I got into it. I enjoyed looking at houses. I enjoy people. I enjoy going on tours with them, listening to what their needs are, how many bedrooms they want, a basement, what area, you have children, do you want a nice yard? So those are the things that I really took the time to listen to, because I was doing it because I really enjoy it. It wasn't necessarily the whole money thing. Which I really shouldn't be admitting that, because obviously the money's fantastic.
This is going to segue great. It's just going to segue great to the next questions we have right after this commercial break, and we'll get right back to you.
For independent living for seniors age 62 and over, People Inc. offers safe, maintenance-free apartments across Western New York. The affordable rent is income-based. For more information, call People Inc. Senior Living at 817-9090.
Looking for a cooking oil with a light flavor and reduced absorption so food preserves its natural flavor? One with a high smoke point for stir-frying, sautéing, grilling, and baking? Then choose all-natural Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil, imported from France. Grapes have been a key ingredient of the healthy Mediterranean diet for years. Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil is the chef's choice for high-heat cooking, grilling, stir-frying, sautéing, or even deep frying. And Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil is great for baking too, because its delicate taste does not overwhelm the flavor of cakes, cookies, and other favorite recipes. A key traditional ingredient of the Mediterranean, grapeseed oil is a rich source of vitamin E antioxidant and naturally gluten-free. Buy imported Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil today and find great recipes at Pompeian.com.
Wait, don't let this happen to you. At Jan Fence, we're family owned and operated for over 50 years, providing a wide choice of fencing. Why wait online at the big box store? Just call Jan Fence. Ask about our Easy Fence to Go products by Active Yards, the first truly do-it-yourself fence product.
At Jan Fence, we always do what we say. Come see us today.
Step into an extraordinary world that will excite your senses. Experience our delectable Mughlai cuisine and the magic of tandoori savoir-faire. Let our international award-winning team delight you with a taste of heaven. Enjoy our mouth-watering flavors and our unique flair for excellence. Savor the elegance of fine dining and catering. Shazam Restaurant. Indulge your taste buds.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
And we are back at Real Estate Radio Network with Joe Scarice, and I have Sarah Pearson. I apologize, Pearson. I don't know why I was going to say that. With Berkshire Hathaway here in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And we're going to get right into kind of the meat of real estate, and we're going to talk about the market. And obviously, we are at the beginning of a very hot spring market. I mean, there's so much being said.
Yes.
Media or different types of blogs that are out there. But what is your take right now in the spring market? I mean, is it buying time? Are you seeing an influx or a higher volume of calls into the office or calls to you directly?
Yes, it is definitely buying and selling. Spring is the hottest time in the market, obviously, because people are preparing their home. I mean, it's a new beginning. Things are growing. You do spring cleaning. People start throwing things away. Then they realize, oh, maybe I need a new house, or they want to move and get everything ready before the end of the school year so that they have the summertime to find something new, and then they can get nice nestled into their home for school to start in September.
So let's talk about buyers. Buyers, as a loan officer myself, a real estate agent always wants to hear that you reviewed their tax returns and their financials are in good shape, so that, and not to exaggerate their capability of buying real estate.
Right.
Be a little conservative because anything can come up in the circumstances. Are you finding buyers more educated in the market in the spring now than, say, in the last couple of years? Are you seeing a better buyer? Or are you seeing buyers that, they're just throwing it up in the air and hoping they can get a house? Like, what are you seeing in in your market? You can't talk for New York and you can't talk, but just in your market, in the New Jersey market, what are you seeing?
Well, I have a wide range of buyers, I would say, as far as some of them have absolutely no idea. They need a little more hand-holding than others through the entire process. You have to tell them, okay, these are the steps. You need to take all your financials. You need to get pre-approved. Mm-hmm. Find out what you're comfortable with as far as a budget on what you can afford. Mm-hmm. And then we would start looking. And then I have some buyers that come to me and they're like, okay, we want this, 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 and this, and we're approved for this. And then you're kind of like, awesome, great, let's go.
Now you just have to identify.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, but I do find they're not more educated, I don't think, than they have been in the last couple of years.
It's still the same mix.
I feel like it is.
Okay.
I feel like buyers and sellers should really educate themselves more because this is one of the biggest purchases or financial situations in your life that a person gets into, and sometimes people just call into the office and you're rolling the dice because you have no idea who's going to answer the phone, and you're going to let them either sell you a house or, you know, list your house.
I tell people all the time, clients, you're not buying a dog or a
Right.
bicycle, you're buying a house.
Right.
This is a true investment, and you need to treat
Right.
it that way. And you know, most of the clients, you know, adhere to it, but every once in a while you get somebody that gets a little fuzzy.
Right.
Are you seeing now, again, knowing that you're dealing with a lot of, you know, first-time home buyers in the mix, but you do come from that investment background? Are investors calling you, looking for any opportunities, like any little niche?
Actually, I'm working with a couple right now. They have 2 children. They have a home in Cherry Hill, and they're looking to invest some of their savings into a property.
That's great. Yeah, so you're seeing a little mix of that as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's real
yes.
tough to find a distressed property, you know,
It is.
you know, because I mean they get
Well,
picked up real quick.
theirs is a different situation because they want an investment property to put their money into, to rent
And hold.
hang on to.
Oh, that's great. That's a whole
Yes,
different circumstance.
That is a whole, yes, and that is really smart because honestly, how, you know, where no stock market or anything that you put your money into has a turnaround like real estate. I mean, if you invest smart.
You buy smart closing, and that's where a good realtor comes into place.
Yes.
Let's talk about the listing component. You know, when you're getting calls in the spring market now, people are cleaning their house and now they're suddenly thinking, hey, maybe I can make a little money on the sale of the property. Or, listen, we have the largest transference of assets. We have depression-born children the past 5 years and the next 10 years passing away,
Right.
and the homes are being left to their children.
Yes.
So you're seeing a lot of estate type of opportunities to
Yes.
be listed. Where do you see yourself, or where do you see the market for yourself right now on listing sides? Are you getting some calls for listings, and how are you handling that?
I do. I actually have a gentleman that I go to church with.
Okay.
That's another one of my avenues where I get clients. It's his parents' house, and they are cleaning it out now and trying to, I guess, liquidize all of her assets, and I'm going to list that soon. But it's very hard when there's several children involved and it's your parents' house because there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of sentimental value, and you try to gently guide them and explain to them that the spring is the best time to list the house. So while you understand sentimentally that they're kind of dragging their feet because they want to delay the process, but at the same time you're kind of helping them along, and it's almost healing for them because they're going to go through that stuff, and then it's kind of like a let go, moving on process.
I mean, do you think your motherly touch helps a little bit too?
I think so.
I mean, to me, the reason why that the real estate agent industry is obviously more favored toward women realtors is because people feel like that you work harder.
Right.
There's sometimes a motherly instinct or some type of instinct that people feel like you're kind of coddling more, where there's a male realtor.
Right.
Oh, this is it. It's black and white.
Right.
And sometimes in an estate situation where everybody's sensitive, people are upset,
Right.
you can kind of throw out a more of a real
Right.
personality to make them feel comfortable about it. The
I
circumstance.
agree with you.
You know?
Some men might not agree with you, but I totally agree with you.
Well, I'm going through an estate sale myself. A personal family member passed away,
Okay.
and we interviewed 5 or 6 realtors, and I didn't disclose I was a mortgage banker, so I
Okay.
kind of kept it to myself and just met with them. And the women realtors obviously were much more favorable because they're like, we're going to do this to the property, we're going to stage
Right.
it, we're going to do this is what you need to do to make it look right. I mean, do you take that extra step and about pictures?
Absolutely. I already met with them, the family. I've offered to help clean out the house. I gave them tips on what should stay, what should go. Oh yeah, it is very personal. It's a personal relationship that you develop with a potential client for them to trust you. I mean, this is a part of them.
It's a family heirloom.
It
I mean,
is.
more or less they're disconnecting from.
Yes.
So, and we're going to get to talk about one of your properties in the next segment. I'm kind of
Great.
is this the property or?
No, this is another one, and
Okay.
it's actually also an estate.
That's great. Well, we're going to get right back to you after our commercial break.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
Imagine the finest hand-selected USDA prime steak you'll ever have. The freshest line-caught seafood, our Wine Spectator award-winning wine list, and soul-satisfying desserts. Bring that together with the perfect date, the winning business deal, a memorable family celebration. Welcome to Rod's Steak and Seafood Grill in nearby Morristown, New Jersey. Bring your appetite and feed your passion.
Your credit score is yours, and at Experian Credit Expert, we want to help you really use it. With access to helpful Experian experts over the phone and online, we can help you use it to get a better idea of what info the banks have on you. Use it to get more choice of mortgages. Use it to make your money go further. Take the next step to improving your financial future with your free 30-day trial at Experian.co.uk.
Here at Freppi's Tex-Mex, you can definitely taste the freshness in our food. You should definitely come to Freppi's because it's a great place. You can bring your family, very kid-friendly. All my servers are amazing, friendly people. Everyone here is just happy to serve, and I think it shows. The thing that sets us apart is the quality and freshness of our food. And I think once you try it, you'd be coming back. I'm Joe DeSario, co-owner of Freppi's Tex-Mex in Plainfield, New Jersey.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
We're back at Real Estate Radio Network with Joe Scarice, and we're going to talk about our Spotlight Property of the Week with Sarah Pearson. And I'm really excited about it because we were talking about some other properties and how you identify and work with some people that were estate transferred. And this property is an estate, correct?
Yes,
And it's a condominium.
it is.
All right, so let's go into some details to the property so
Okay.
we can talk about it. I see the picture we have in front of us. It's a regular, it's a standard walk-in.
Yes.
Is there anything special to the front area of the property?
Well, this is a nice condo community in Cherry Hill, off of Crescent Road. It's called the Woods. They have the Woods, and then they developed the Woods 2 because the Woods were so
They got so
successful.
busy at the one Woods, they had to find another.
Correct.
Okay.
It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo on the first floor.
Kind of a starter.
It is. It could be many things.
Well, it's all one floor, so it could be almost for anybody.
It really could. There's, obviously not for a family. This right here, as you can see, there's a fireplace in a living room, dining room combination.
And it's a real working fireplace?
There's a real working fireplace, and then that looks into the kitchen. And in the there's a kitchen.
Oh,
and
so it's an open breakfast bar.
Yes, and you can see there's sliders to a small patio.
Okay. I mean, is there anything that you would do differently with the kitchen right now? I mean, would you change the countertops?
Well,
Would you add anything with flooring?
The property is move-in ready.
Okay.
It just depends on a person's taste. Everything is functional. Some of the stuff is updated. There's laminate countertops. Somebody might like granite.
I mean, in the big picture of things, granite is almost as cheap as a brand new laminate, so you might as well go with the granite anyway.
Right.
And then you can get a nice color that makes the whole area pop.
Right.
Cabinets are in good shape.
Yes.
And then
Cabinets are in good shape. The bathroom is in decent shape. It has a handicapped accessibility, which you could always change out.
Oh, that's great though, that to have that.
Right.
And how's the mechanics of the property? Everything, the electric and the
Everything's been repaired and fixed and ready to go.
gas. Is there anything in the back? How's the size of the backyard?
So it's a condo. So you come in, and then it's the living room, the dining room, and the kitchen, and then there's the sliders that go onto a small concrete slab patio with a storage closet.
Can you add a porch or anything?
Not really. In the condo community, they do have condominium associations, and they have rules because they want to keep everything uniform. They do cover snow removal and the lawns, which is nice for someone that's either single and doesn't have time to mow the lawn, or a young couple just starting out, they're both working, or an older person that would like to be on the first floor that just needs a small place for themselves.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It's
Walking,
perfect.
I mean, they can just walk right in, right, park their car.
Right.
So it sounds like it's a great community. What's the asking price on the property?
$99,000.
Wow.
Which is actually on the lower part. There are some comps around the area that are all listed for more than mine. And while you think, oh, $99,000 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo, that's a lot of money. But as I look at it, and it only appeals to a certain type of buyer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have a single person, you have a young couple, maybe just getting married, starting out, you have a senior citizen, or you have an investor. And then I tell people, the couple that I was talking about that was looking for an investment property to rent, they looked at it, actually, and it would be a good investment property for someone to start out maybe buying it and renting it. Or the young couple that's just getting married, getting their first place, figuring out what area they want to live. If they want to live in Cherry Hill, if they want to live in Mount Laurel or surrounding areas. If they decide to upgrade into something larger, they could actually keep this and rent it.
Well, I mean, again, you have to evaluate the taxes in the area.
Right.
Which I'm not really sure of the taxes in the area, and the HOA, which is
Right.
always,
Absolutely.
you know, that could either make or break profit margin as an investor. Even if you're putting 25% down,
Right.
that HOA can gobble up a lot
Yes.
of profit based on income and expense.
This HOA is pretty reasonable.
Is it?
As well as the taxes. Yes.
I've seen some HOAs from
Oh,
realistic
yes.
to unrealistic.
Yes.
And I just shake my head and say, why would
And
somebody...
where's all the money going? Why? What's it for?
And that's another thing when it comes to a condo, differently than a single family, as you know,
Right.
or just any other type of property than a condo or a townhouse. There's a questionnaire that ties into that community,
Absolutely.
and that's almost a mandate to be reviewed by a mortgage
Right.
company.
Oh, it is. It is, and the person buying or investing really needs to educate themselves on what the laws are with that association, because I was dealing with another association and they had a whole bunch of addendums written into their HOA rules and regulations, and one of them was they had to, after a certain percentage of owner occupied, they couldn't rent. Like, so if my buyers wanted to buy it and then rent it out, they could have potentially bought it and tried to rent it and then wouldn't have been allowed to.
Correct.
Because they have restrictions.
And that happens in a lot of communities.
It does.
And because the reason really is because if the investor concentration rate goes too high, banks will not finance
Right.
owner-occupied purchases of those condos or townhouses, and then the community becomes almost like a white elephant in a certain sense. Only
Right.
certain people can buy in that community,
Right.
and
It's risky.
it is. I mean, condo buying, townhouse buying there is a risk to it, but again, that price is just unreal.
Yes, I think it's a really reasonable.
I mean, just to start off at 99. I mean that's an asking price.
Yeah, well, and if you think about it, depending on how much money you put down, say a young couple was going to rent an apartment. Now, this day and age, in Cherry Hill especially, a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment that you would want to rent is at least minimum $1,200 to $1,500 a month. So you're buying a 1 bedroom, 1 bath condo for $99,000. Say you put $10,000 down, you're financing what, 90, and then depending on the taxes and the HOA fees, you're looking at, and the interest rate, $1,000 a month.
Or under.
Yeah, or under, depending on what you put down.
It's a great buy. It's a great featured property.
And then your money's not going out the window. You're actually investing it, and you're paying off the principal.
No, I think it's a home run. Before we finish up, why don't you give your information? How do people reach you? And you could just give a little 30-second who you are, where to reach out to you to find these opportunities.
Okay, Sarah Pearson. I work for Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors in Cherry Hill. It's right on Route 70. I can be reached. The phone number there is 856-428-8000. My email is Sarah, SARAH .PEARSON @foxroach.com.
Well, I really like to thank you, and I look forward to now knowing you and some opportunities in the market. And my name is Joe Scarice. I'm with Monument Bank and Real Estate Radio Network, and I'd like to thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.